Richard B. Scudder was born in Newark, New Jersey on May 13, 1913, to Edward and Catherine Scudder. His family had first come to America in 1636, and ancestor Nathaniel Scudder had served as a member of the Continental Congress that signed New Jersey into the Union. Richard was the youngest of 3 children. He earned an honors degree in economics from Princeton University in 1935. Out of college, Richard worked as a reporter, first for the Boston Herald and later for the Newark News, the newspaper founded by his grandfather in 1882. He eventually succeeded his father as publisher of the Newark News in 1952, a position he held until 1972. Richard was named Papermaker of the Year in 1978 by Paper Trade Journal. The award recognized his pioneering work in recycling that had started in 1950. A news dealer had piqued his interest in creating the technology to de-ink newspapers so they could be recycled into fresh newsprint. Richard's testing began in the wash basin in his office and moved to a kitchen blender before he moved his research to the more scientific proving grounds of Syracuse University and the Hertie Laboratory in Savannah, Georgia. 10 years later, in 1960, Scudder formed the Garden State Paper Company and built a mill to turn clean fiber into printable paper. Although many in the paper industry scoffed at the possibility of making quality newsprint from recycled newspapers, Richard and his colleagues never considered it a risky venture. It began by processing 60,000 tons of newspaper a year at one facility. By 1990, Garden State's Garfield, New Jersey mill and its 4 affiliates recycled 1.1 million tons. Under his leadership, Garden State Paper became the world's largest recycler of newsprint into new newsprint. His mills were the first successful recyclers of old newspaper in the world. In 1986, New Jersey Monthly urged readers to keep their eye on Richard Scudder and his business partner, Dean Singleton. 3 years before, in 1983, the two men started Media News Group Incorporated. The firm began with the acquisition of a newspaper in Woodbury, New Jersey. Today, Media News Group is the 6th largest news group in the United States, with newspapers situated throughout California, the Rocky Mountain region, and the Northeast. Richard had met Dean, one of the mill's creditors, in the late 1970s. The relationship they built continues to this day. Richard also served his country in World War II, having been drafted into the Army at Fort Dix, New Jersey in 1941. He went to Officers Training School a year later and also attended the Army's Advanced Counterintelligence School. Attached to General Eisenhower's Supreme Command in Europe, he was instrumental in Operation Anonymous, an underground German language radio station. Richard was allowed to visit the War Room and 12th Army Group and, without censorship, write and broadcast in German every detail, the progress or lack of it, of the American Army. It is believed that misinformation from the station directed German troops retreating across the Rhine to bridges controlled by the U.S. Army, resulting in the surrender of many thousands. Mr. Scudder was awarded the Bronze Star and left the Army as a major. Richard married Elizabeth Libby Shibley. Their marriage produced 3 daughters, Jean, Carolyn, and Holly, and 1 son, Charles, and also 9 grandchildren. Libby passed away on May 16, 2004. Today, Richard continues to serve as chairman of Media News Group.